into a Gemini reading here. We're going to start off with the Star Dragon's Oracle, then move into the Sacred Web. I'll be clarifying with, I believe it is called the Enchanted Tarot, Queen of the Moon Oracle, and Moonology. And then we'll also be grabbing you some charms and runes. I did just want to sort of preface that the reason that I like to do these readings this way, where I have the zodiac with the new moon, well, just after the new moon, is to build up momentum with the moon cycle. And then I like to do a pick a card around the full moon. And this is because I believe that intuition is going, and instincts are heightened around the full moon. So that'll help you with the pick a cards. But also, the new moon, I feel, is very much so, you know, kind of like the void aspect. And so I think you can kind of get into the whole spectrum there. And I also feel like we're more in an individualized energy around the new moon, whereas we're in a more holistic energy around the full moon. But let's go ahead and start here. Alright. For Gemini, please, spirit guides and angels, what does Gemini need to see? What does Gemini need to see here? Spirit guides and angels. Messages for Gemini, please. Although I do want to note that it's interesting, this came out for the Aries read, challenge standing up for your rights. Transcendence, well, that came out for the Taurus reading. Achieving success and culmination, completion, and renewal, which is perfect for all of these. I mean, very perfect for new moon energy there. But I do feel these are your cards here. Inspiration and grief. And Taurus also very much was about grief and turning grief to grace. So perhaps you have a placement there, or that reading could benefit you as well. I believe we have all the different spectrums within, all the different components of the spectrum within us. You know, our organs symbolize different, and just our whole body is like the whole zodiac, you know. And I mean, that can step out into like the world and cultures and animals. That's why it's the zodiac for zoo. You know, you can, it's kind of like a key to many things. But so if you don't have a Taurus placement, you know, it still might connect to you in ways. And I find if you find your house placements, you can often view from that scope and try to kind of take in any messages, you know, with those lenses on of how that might be playing for you. And you always take readings with a bit of a grain of salt, and you know, I think you can always find a way that it can relate. You don't want to search and make it fit, but just if you step back and just kind of let things sort of come up and unfold. You know, I think many people find readings to be therapeutic because of that aspect. You know, it's almost like looking at ink blots and sort of seeing where your mind's at. But of course, it doesn't replace therapy, so I am not suggesting this. And if you do need to get yourself to a place where you're better able to handle things, please do so, because that really benefits. I think we all get to that point where we need to reach out for help, so do not feel any shame around that whatsoever. I think the world is coming to a more accepting place in that light, that we all need a little, you know, it helps us to get different angles on things and open up, and that we all could use a little bit of help sometimes. But we also have inspiration here, and it's 3, and I am definitely getting Empress energy, so I do believe, like the Taurus reading, that song that is coming up, that turn your grief to grace, turn my grief to grace. It's called Grace. And it's grief accepting loss. So perhaps in accepting loss, you're going to find some kind of inspiration. And the other interesting thing here is, well, this grief card, and it's 17 for healing. While it is a little bit dark and gloomy, this inspiration card is almost, it's gray. So it's very much so kind of stepping out. I'm kind of getting eclipse energy. But it's kind of like stepping out of the picture and observing. And letting things sort of break down and dissolve. Alright, let's get your tarot. For Gemini, that is interesting. I do feel like these are for you, but that was a very interesting way. They kind of just it made me think of, oh, what's it called? The splitting of Earth. And it was like kind of like a landslide. Okay. perhaps that song, you feel that song a little bit. Okay. So we have here the universe. In this, it's the world card, but in this deck, it goes by the universe in reverse here. I'm getting that you feel a bit out of touch. We have 6 of Wands here. And we have here Justice. Yeah, I do want to double check some decks, and without the actual, I'm feeling Justice off of this though, but I just want to double check. Some decks switch between Justice and Strength, so I just do want to make sure, but this definitely feels more Justice. Justice, but while I have this open, perhaps we're meant to read it here, so let's go ahead and read it. Moving through the wisdom of the wheel, its spinning web, you find yourself rebalanced, ready to be your own agent of transformation. In Justice, you arrive at the middle of the weaving between the past and the future, the space between other and self, the unconscious and the conscious, the real and the unreal, the ancient wisdom of the cosmos. The infinite spiral dance invites you to practice humility, for in humility you can begin to open the idea that all beings are equal. Now is the time to embrace a life that is full of possibility. Understand that you have the power to create a life of integrity in which no one can be diminished and nothing can diminish you. Ask how you can create more equity in your world, in the ways you treat others and how you treat yourself. Can you touch into the merciful heart and connect to the sacred truth that we are all one under the law of love? Where can you cultivate balance between thought, emotion, and action? Take your place in that holy center. That's interesting. I felt like you felt maybe a bit out of touch. And here we have, can you touch into the merciful heart and connect to the sacred truth that we are all one under the law of love? The main word here is integrity. This represents air, the east, Libra, Pyrite. For the yoga poses, it has warrior 1, 2, and 3. And it's the heart chakra, Yom, deer, tree, and eagle, which is shown here in the image. I have the power to create a life of integrity in which no one can be diminished and nothing can diminish me. So this also kind of goes to that feeling of everything kind of feeling like it is, or allowing things to kind of dissolve, but to remember that it's more so all these ideas that are dissolving, but what remains is the essence, the truth, the whole of everything, love. So I think this is something you are connecting to. But let's go ahead and get some more. Messages for Gemini, please. Oh. Okay. Quite a bit here. Oh, that stays there. Okay, so we have source of water. So this would be the Queen of Cups. We have here 7 of Wands, but it's in reversed. We have the Sun card. And we have Scout of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles here. So with this, I'm getting to really pour into things that make you happy, lean into them. And letting some of your emotions out is going to really help you allow the sun to shine. You know, after the storm and the sun comes out and there's a rainbow. Okay, I got this is something that comes quite often, that there's a rainbow in the sky all the time. It's a great song, but to try to remember that, to like let yourself go through the emotions you're going through, to seek like emotional well-being and wholeness. But remember that the emotions pass. They're just like the weather. You know, you'll have periods, bouts where there's sadness, and bouts where there's joy. And just allow them to come through without overpowering you, because you know that the rainbows in the sky all the time, that it's there. The full spectrum is always available to you. Grounding is definitely going to help you achieve more, but also again connecting to the oneness. But also there is offers that you might be resistant to. You might be in a place of avoidance right now, but I do see that being something that you want to change, and I see you taking steps to achieve this. It's just a bit of a challenge right now. But inspiration ultimately is going to come to you. Answers and reasons and motivation. So this this is the Four of Swords. So you will take some time to rest and recuperate. And know that that is not avoidance. You do need to take time for you. And then we have here the Six of the Lovers. Or is this the Two of Cups? This is the Two of Cups. Oh, it's not. It's the Lovers. I'm going to have to pull some romance cards for you. I was kind of feeling. What did I write? In your meditation, I felt an energy of love. Love is obviously very strong here. In that wholeness, especially, but I do see a deepening connection or a deep connection coming in. Also with the sun here, I did get the song in the meditation. I'll have to put the name here, but it's the Faces Pass, and I'm home now. If I could fall into the sun, do you think time would pass us by? 1,000 miles. That's what it's called. By Vanessa Carlton. I'll put it up there. But I also felt like a messiness energy. Like perhaps you feel like things have been messy. That doesn't have to be literally, just maybe you feel chaotic. I felt like a yearning for love. So something to note here is to, and I see you doing it, it's a bit of a process, but I do see you connecting with the wholeness of love and loving yourself wholly, remembering how sacred you are. I definitely do feel that there is a love offering coming in. Another neat thing here is this is kind of reflection, and we have 4 and 6 here in Roman numerals, which are very much so reflecting. I do think it's going to happen when you least expect it, and when you really take time to recuperate and rest and focus on yourself. But this person has been bonded with you even behind the scenes. You might be just there's a deep soul tie. We have here Student of Earth, which is the Page of Pentacles, which again is about that offer. This is a very stable relationship coming in, a very stable offer. I am taking note that this is at the heart of the bird, and there's lots of roots here with this tree that's also kind of like the bird's legs. And you're going to feel safe in this relationship. This root chakra energy at the heart. And Seer of Air, which is the King of Swords. So this tells me that you'll have very strong communication, which I'm sure as a Gemini you'll really appreciate. I see you guys having a lot of deep conversations. I think it's going to be a kind of stable but whirlwind of a romance. One that I see you guys talking, you know, into the morning. Yeah, let's go ahead and get you, before we start clarifying, I want to get you some romance cards because I definitely am strongly feeling that. This almost seems to have taken over the reading. Okay, spirit guides and angels. What does Gemini need to know about this love? Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Take some time to rest. Perhaps you'll actually be going on a retreat. You might meet this person on a retreat, or you might travel to get yourself some rest and recuperation, a vacation of some kind. And this is how you meet them. Any more messages for Gemini here? Children. Your love life is being affected by children. For some, I just think that this is somebody you might have, like in the future, you will have children with. For others, there might be a feeling of obligation and loyalty that is or will be, you know, compounding a little bit in this relationship, but I do ultimately feel that you will communicate and whatever this is, it's going to make you feel, you won't feel hurt or thrown through this. It's just going to ground you. Alright, any more messages for Gemini? Any more love messages for Gemini here? What does Gemini need to know about this love coming in? And I did get the message for some that there is perhaps somebody that you've already there's a love there and that's part of why you've been yearning. And some of you I do see actually letting go of this, focusing on you and loving yourself. And sort of communicating what you need to, or perhaps just releasing this and stepping into your own power. you're in a place of justice. Like, you're going to be handling this very well, especially with the King of Swords here with that. Let go of control issues. So yeah, that kind of connects more to that. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So we won't push for any more cards here. I feel like this is something that you have to face on your own and decide for yourself, of course, ultimately, and just do what's best for you. Alright, let's go ahead. You know, I'm not even going to clarify here. This has been very straightforward. And I do feel like you have everything that you need to deal with this situation as well. I see it being more so about connecting with yourself and knowing for yourself. So I don't think there's much I really can say to it. But let's get this Queen of the Moon Oracle for you. Funny, I felt very an energy of just ready to go and like getting ahead of yourself kind of energy when I started out this reading, and now it feels like it's like very much so slowing down. So I think that's that rest period coming in. And yeah. So Wanning Gibbous to pleasure, and 18, this is the moon card. So you're connecting with what makes you happy. Perhaps you felt disconnected and out of touch with yourself, and you don't know what makes you happy anymore. You do feel a bit chaotic in your energy. Here's these two butterflies. But it's kind of like she's releasing everything and just embracing the unknown, embracing her divine self here. Alright. We have fruition, harvest moon. This reminds me of that song, Dancing Under the Harvest Moon. Perhaps that time period will be fruitful for you. Connecting to the oneness of everything, the abundance, giving yourself love, some self-care, perhaps making your own, I'm kind of getting like DIY types of self-care things, like like a specific one that I've used, honey. Honey has very wonderful regenerative properties. It can actually help stimulate cells in a way to regenerate and heal, and it's very constructive. That's why you do see a lot of people, designing things with the structure of the honeycomb. But yeah, a honey hair mask is specifically, that's something I do every now and then, and it's wonderful, especially if you have curly hair. It'll bring new life to your hair. But just different DIY methods, and perhaps looking into what you put in and on your body. So I'm seeing this very alchemically, like just being very aware of what is on your body. Protection, waning crescent, 1. So this is reminding me of that bird again. You are protected, and you are being taken out of situations that just weren't what you deserve, and being placed into better life situations. And I think that period of rest is what's really going to help get you there. Let's get your moonology here. Messages for Gemini, please. Messages for Gemini, please. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sag. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. I was feeling a lot of the Taurus energy come through. So I am getting to take small steps. I just got the quote of what is it? Small steps for man, big leaps for mankind. So knowing that little steps really add up, that, and also that you are, for every step that you take, the world takes tenfold steps back at you. Like, you're very magnetic, you're attracting a lot right now, especially as you tap into yourself even more. So it's going to be, you're going to see things really gravitate towards you. I think you'll even notice it. I'm getting to take walks in parks. This is going to really help you. Someplace lush with trees. You know, one of my favorite things is just after a rainstorm, going to a wooded area, and when the sun has come out and it's hitting those trees and the steam is just lifting off of these trees, and it's just this beautiful, gorgeous smell of the wood, and it's just magical. It is so lovely. I'm definitely getting that energy. Maybe that's going to help you step into your own essence. I always have wondered if that's how, you know, essence, you know, people realizing like how to steam distill was maybe through watching that occur, because it just is beautiful. And also maybe aromatherapy can benefit you. If you are facing a lot of grief, if you are dealing with like mood struggles, frankincense is a wonderful way to boost your mood. And there's definitely plenty of ways to look into different aromatherapies for mood boosting, as well as getting into nature. And a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. So don't fret about this. Things are coming into balance. Things are happening in divine timing. And know that things are going to work out for you. Trust that. Truly trust that. I am being drawn back to this inspiration. Perhaps have some affirmations. I'm going to get you an affirmation card as well. This is Happier Me affirmation cards. To note, this happiness is a choice. I choose happiness today. That definitely popped out at me. Okay. Life is full of love, and I find it everywhere I go. So that's again touching onto that Justice card and knowing that love is all around. Connecting to the universal one and knowing ultimately, the baseline of everything is love. Everybody's hearts are beating right now. Like, what a wonderful symphony of love is out there. You experience what you choose to direct your attention towards. If you want to experience more love, concentrate on loving yourself first. And this is very much so like that. Choose happiness. It's a choice, and you have to find the rainbow. You know, we know that the rainbow's in the sky all the time. Find the rainbow in every situation. It's okay to feel like you gotta feel through things. You don't want to repress. But you can always find in those darkest hours something beautiful that emerges out of that situation, out of, there is always light and embers to stir. You just have to dig deep and really let them sort of shine out and find them, and then really nurture them, grow them, find the good things in every dark situation. And sometimes it's very hard to do, which is, I understand that, but it's about flipping your perspective on the matter. I got that quote from Aladdin. Well, it's just a quote, but I am thinking of Aladdin when he's at the mound, and it's like diamond in the rough. Or is that? I'm thinking of that scene, but it might be said to Jafar actually, to find the diamond in the rough. But he is the diamond in the rough. He is the one who can open the doors. Alright, let's get your chart. Ooh, that's a lot here. Well, that is a big butterfly. I haven't had this butterfly come out yet. So you're going through very, very big transformations here. And I'm definitely feeling called to put it here. These transformations are about loving yourself. I'm getting, don't make yourself small. You are wonderful, and I think you know that, but you just might have situations that come up that perhaps you don't want to make anybody else feel small. You're a very lovely person here. So this is the airplane, which I was getting about travel before, so certainly some of you are traveling. But it's also about elevating to new heights. And about being airlifted out of a situation popsicle. But so try not to be too defensive and on guard. Try to open up a little bit. Because I am getting this as like it being like a little popsicle thing. It might be overindulgence with the cactus, with overprotective of yourself. But I do see you blossoming no matter what. But that you are going to take some time for yourself, for rest and recuperation, and that will help you also to know when to have boundaries, but also to not have your guard. To have your guard, but not have, too much of to be closed off. More about blossoming here. But also about the third eye. Find what makes you happy. Really look into yourself and visualize things that make you happy, and then reach out and connect to them. A tree this is about abundance. It could mean around Christmas time something is gifted. Well, obviously it's a time of gifting, but something, not materialistic. But also could be. But also, I'm thinking of that harvest moon. So it could also connect to that harvest moon, even though that's a different time period. But I mean, we are seeing a lot of Christmas here as well. This is a Christmas wreath here. So Christmas is going to stand out. We have another big butterfly. That just again connects to really deeply loving yourself and whomever it is that you might meet, or even some of you have met, but you're both going through a period of learning to deeply love yourself. And how to be healthily individual, really connecting with yourself and knowing what makes you happy. This is a little moon fairy holding a moon here, and it looks like a new moon. At least on this side, and on this side it kind of looks like a full moon. You are being protected. And moved forward. We have the horse here, of course connecting to the chariot, but I'm also kidding. Okay, you start out, you might be feeling chaotic and just overly ready to go, and then you're going to take a period of rest, and it's when you take a period of rest that things will pick up. I don't know why, but it's wanting to go here. Also, you're moving through your grief. Know that you are moving through your grief. Well, that's ironic. Move slow. I think by moving slow, you'll find the more clear of paths that cause things to move more efficiently, which makes things feel a little bit more stable, but also progressive. Music. Okay, I'm getting specifically to connect to music that kind of invokes that oneness and love and abundance. I did just get the song with this. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? I love this song. It's in one of my playlists. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of it. With the world, I can't even think of the it's an older song about what they're really, okay, I just got this song. What they're really saying is, I love you. What a wonderful world. That's the song. Alright, we have the wheel here. This is connecting to luck is on your side. Things are shifting for the better. The wheels of justice may turn slowly, but they do turn. Things are turning around for you. My ear kind of rang with this one. Stop and listen before you tee off. Stop and listen before you take actions. Really connect with your heart before you take every action that you take. Really make sure it connects with you and connects with the good of all. Okay, so this brought with it that I don't know what you'd call it, that will say that people play on the toes with, babies with. This little piggy went to the market, this little piggy stayed home, this little piggy had roast beef, this little piggy had none, and this little piggy went wee 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 all the way home. But what does it mean? And it might be about connecting to everything. It might be about reflexology with the toes. Your feet connect to spirituality. Pigs are very playful. I did get that energy of feeling like things were messy, but finding fun and joy. You know, pigs will roll around in the mud, so it's like still find the joy in that. Don't let it take over you. Some of you might be the ones with children feeling like you can't, and that's like maybe things have ended with somebody, or, and this is only if it already has, but you might be a single mother, so you feel very careful about your approach because you don't want to, you know your children, you're being protective of them, and don't let that close you off. But also, appreciate the mess. There's a lot of times where people, feel kind of lost in the chaos of it all, but there's gonna come a day where you're going to really, it'll get quiet and you'll be like, what is this? Like, appreciate that. Appreciate the time that you have together and how wonderful it is to get to enjoy each other's company, even if things get a little messy, even if, you know, that is a lot as a mother, as a single mom. I know that that can be very overwhelming, and reach out for help if you need to, but just try to remember how beautiful this time period is. And it's also kind of like reminding me of art. You know, somebody, if you get too, you know, perfectionism can stand in the way, and you gotta let things get a little messy sometimes and just appreciate that and the beauty in that. You know, life is messy. It's wonderful and beautiful, and I believe it all finds balance, ways to balance. Everything is in balance. We just don't always see it because it's worked out in different ways. It's very intricate, but you know, it feels pretty chaotic and loud, like life is loud, but it's beautiful, you know. And we have here X and 8, but also there's a marking of 1 here, so 18. X could also be 10. I'm feeling completion on something. I don't know why I got Z here. And then 18 is the moon energy. That's come up quite a bit here. Which I'm again getting connecting with your feelings, giving yourself self-love, doing things for yourself. Remember how sacred you are, how special it is to be here, how special being in this vessel is, and care for it. Alright, let's get to your runes. Intelligence, culture. So remember the best in yourself. And other human traits. I'm again getting that, like, what a wonderful world, and connecting to how the love that's just in this whole world, just this deep divine love. Life is full of love, and I find it everywhere I go. Appreciating man, loving all humankind, and knowing that deeply all people, they don't show it, they might not even know it, but deep down, everybody does love one another. It's our base, and a lot of times we forget that, we step away from it within our experiences in our life, but it's always there. Like, they might not be connected to it, but it is there. Beneath it all, underneath it all. That song just came in, underneath it all. But underneath it all, there's just love. I know that sounds strange. Oh, we have a missing charm here. So this is the spring. So I see you being boosted. Something's gonna boost you. Maybe around that harvest moon time. Something's going to really give you inspiration and boost you. And then we have here Hagas. I don't know how to. You'll have to bear with me as I learn the pronunciation of these runes over time. I could look it up, but like right at the time. But I'm just gonna slowly evolve and learn them because that helps me kind of sustain it. And also, I use my phone to record, so I can't really look it up actually. Something I did learn is the accent is always at the beginning of the word, the emphasis. Huglas. But this was in Merkstav. So this is about trouble and misfortune, but the fact that it was in Merkstav says an end to trouble and misfortune. So things are shifting. Trust that things are shifting. And whatever this big inspirational boost is going to really... Oh, I just saw... what's it called with the pole? Pole vaulting. It's going to really give you that boost you need to overcome something. But also it's about something that's like a lasting change. So yeah, I'm seeing, of course we'll still have, like, there's always gonna be ups and downs, but I just do see that you've gone through the thick of it and things are going to ease up for you. Okay, and that is where we are going to leave this. I thank you so much for being a part of my journey and welcoming me to be a part of your journey as well. And until next time, lovely folk.